Okay, so you do lead sources from a ton of different areas. You just run into people randomly and you're like, man, like I have my typical follow-up systems, but how do I just have something that can just tie everything together and also just have an item of value that I can just give to people to collect emails and just keep them in my atmosphere as consistently as possible. In this video, I'm going to talk about weekly emails and what I've learned from implementing them into my business. Let's go. What's up, everyone? My name is Cameron Hodge, an agent here at eXp Realty. On this channel, I talk about my experience being an agent moving forward in this industry and also what it's like being at eXp Realty. And I'm always getting reach outs from agents, broker owners, team leaders when it comes to making the move to eXp Realty or seeing if it's just the fit for them, if it makes sense. So if that's you, give me a call, text, email, and I have your back when moving to eXp Realty. All right. Also, if you also want to be notified of this channel, hit like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon to be notified every time I drop a new video. So, getting right into the video, weekly email. So, first I'll address it if you don't know what this is. So, what it is literally every week at the same time, you have an email that goes out to your database. I mean, sometimes people do SOI, some people do, just certain leads, if it's a follow-up and things like that. So, this conversation is completely separate from a normal lead follow-up that you would be doing. So, to give credit where credit's due, I first heard of this from Ricky Caruth. And Ricky Caruth is an agent here at eXp Realty. He was also a top Orange Beach Remax realtor and other brokerages, and he's awesome. Like, he gives a lot of stuff away for free, but I definitely heard this from him first, so giving credit there. And at first, when I first heard about it, I was like, yeah, that's a freaking good point. Like, why wasn't I doing this sooner? Because at first I was like, man, this is super complicated. Like, how do I have to write email every week and then schedule it? Ugh. Well, come to find out, like, he uses a platform called Constant Contact, and there's a lot of email services out there. I'm sure we've all heard of MailChimp. That's another one. Sometimes maybe your CRM can do it for you as well. They all have their pros and cons. This video isn't really about that. It's just a concept of weekly emails. So what did I learn? Well, when I first learned it, I was like, wow, this is insane. What do I do for content? Well, I started to realize there's a lot of places that we can get real estate information, but the whole point of it is to make it a local email. So obviously at this time, I was already licensed in California and also preparing for a move to Orlando, Florida in the central area. And I was like, okay, well, I definitely need 2 email addresses for that. I decided to try Constant Contact, and I'm absolutely in love with them. It goes straight into their inboxes, and that doesn't get marked as spam unless they do it themselves, which has not happened yet, so that's a great thing. But I jumped into it. They built a template for me based on my branding for the company and stuff like that. I just had to go in. I connected all the links to it and stuff like that. I'll also show, like right now, a video of what one of my templates looks like that I built out for one of these weekly emails, so you can get an idea of what it looks like. So it just has links pointing back to my website and also allows them to be able to schedule a meeting with me if they have any consultations, like a Calendly. It also has my phone number. I also have another one where, in the future here, I will be branding with a lender as well to be like your local San Diego Temecula team, because that's the email that I have built up right now. So I built it out and I'm like, okay, but now I need email. So I had SOI, that I was staying in touch with once a month with email. But Ricky brought up a good point. I'm like, it needs to be more constant, because I want to show people I'm serious about this business and I'm really just tying people together. And I also had a bunch of, internet leads from the past year and listings and stuff like that just didn't pan out to do anything. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to throw those in there too, because I already gave permission to be part of the email campaign that I had done at that time, but never continued with, so I'm like, okay, well, this is the same campaign, just, I'm setting it up properly this time. And, I chose every Wednesday at 7 a.m. and let it rip. So in the beginning, I started off with like half of them open the first email. It was insane. I even had a couple click-throughs to my website, and I got all this, great feedback from that email. And I'm like, holy cow, why was I not doing this sooner? And so what I do now is I sit down once a month and I schedule the next month's emails. And eventually I will have someone who builds out these emails for me, probably when I bring on an executive assistant. But at this time, it's just me. I sit down one morning a month and I build out my next month's emails. I pick top topics and go with it. Now, I am changing it up a little bit, and I'm going to start doing embedding YouTube videos. So the first email of every month will be a market update. So I think I'm going to change everything around and start building those emails at the beginning of the month, and I'm going to shoot a video updating the market and where we're seeing it go. Just a quick little video to go along with that first email that I'm going to send out every month, so it's relevant information. Everything other than that is just tips. You can send out like top listing of the week. There's tons of ideas that you can do for these weekly emails. But overall, like I see about anywhere between a 30 to 42% open rate with even these people that I've never talked to in my entire life. They gave permission for their email forever ago. And now they're seeing my face, they're seeing my email. I got them in the ecosystem. I'm providing value. And like personally, like people love it. I get a great response from it. And, one thing that I think that was told to me is that, when it comes to the email list, over time, like right now I'm almost at 70 in this email list and growing, is about 1% will turn into deals, whether from referrals or them reaching out to you throughout the year. And hopefully that ends up being true here moving forward, obviously. So, here you go about Ricky is he has about like 10,000 people after all these years in this email list, and he gets 1% from that. That's all he does. Is he doesn't, once you hit like 100 deals a year, it gets really hard to stay in touch with people. But this weekly email is always there to just tie everything together. And what's funny is people that wouldn't even give me their contact, because we all know there's people that your sphere, people that you're like, hey, like I provide value every month, this and that, and they're like, I don't know. But then like what I found, whether through cold calling or just random people that I had conversations with real estate, I'm like, hey, I send out a weekly email every week with updates on the market and just real estate tips. Is that something you want? Is that fair for you to be a part of that? And they're like, absolutely. And I found that I started to gain contact with more people because I had this item of value. For some reason, people like weekly email. I'm like, yeah, and you can unsubscribe at any time. No stress. If I'm not providing value to you, let me know and just dip out. And they're like, wow, awesome. And I can tell you I have not had anyone unsubscribe yet. I'm sure it'll happen eventually. Like once you hit a high enough amount, like it's going to happen. But, it's been a great result. And I think a lot of times we get so busy and there's, so many ways we get leads from this source or that source of people that contact with us. But if they're in this email list and you're sending them an email every single week, one, it shows you as an industry professional and you're staying top of mind. What's funny is even if they don't open the even if they don't open the full newsletter, your name is popping up every single week, every Wednesday, and staying relevant, top of their mind, top of their, in front of their email every week. It's awesome. You can change it up however you want. It's like any typical email builder. You can embed videos, you can do graphics, pop-ins, like you can make it crazy if you want to. I just do simple information, relevant information, and just send it out every single week. And I know it's not a new thing, but personally, I think for us younger crowd, like email is still effective to stay in touch with people, and it just ropes everything together. So I highly recommend you consider like incorporating this into your daily structure. It really doesn't take that much time. Like if you're choosing topics that are going to be relevant for the next month when you build out those emails, you can do that. If you want to get crazy with it and do it every single week to make relevant information, go for it. Sometimes like I'll build out the next month email, and all of a sudden, let's say week 2 of that email campaign, it's Monday, and all of a sudden a huge major topic in the industry comes up, and I'm like, wow, this is super relevant for that database. Guess what? Well, then I either have someone on my team or myself, you build out a quick email, you change it up, and you can just swap around or just change out the email that was going to be there for that week, and nothing changes. So no one knows the difference. And that's what's awesome about that weekly email list. It's like the glue holding your business together. And I've definitely seen amazing results from it. So I think it's something you should consider. And if you're not doing it, definitely look into it, research it, reach out to me if you have any questions on it. Also, let me know in the comments below if you're already doing a weekly email and maybe something that you've been doing that you're like, wow, this works. Or heck, even if you're saying, hey, this doesn't work for me, like I don't know what the heck you're talking about, let me know in the comments below. Happy to help you with that. Also, if you're looking to make the move to eXp Realty or talk about this weekly email campaign to get a better idea of it, reach out to me, call, text, email. You're going to directly talk to me, not some random person from overseas, not some random person on my team. Like you're going to get directly a conversation with me. I love helping agents, team leaders. I don't care who it is. I love helping people, because like we all know something and like we all can help each other grow in this industry. So without that, I will see you in the next video.